Hello, how are you all this fine day? I hope that if you're here, you subscribe to this channel if you're not already, and you check out everything that is down below. My social media and my website and a newsletter are all there for you to enjoy, so check them out. Now, let's talk about friendship, because dang, is that hard, or it can be really hard. Personally, I've really ebbed and flowed on just friendship in general, whether it's forming friends, how I feel about it, and I can safely say that I felt the most liberated when I realized I was autistic, just because I grew up kind of with this pressure from those around me and just from the messages that I received, that I'm sure all of us receive, in that humans are social creatures and we need however many friends and connections to be healthy and happy and live longer, and if you are alone, then that is bad and shameful. Clearing the air right now. The number of people in your life does not in turn equate to your value and worth as a person. There is nothing wrong or shameful about how you relate to people and how many people you choose to have in your life. Because, hello, that stuff is hard. Relationships for all people, neurotypical or neurodiverse, they're hard. And they're even harder for neurodiverse people, because depending on who we're connecting with, we might have to be like somehow doing some translation between different functioning operating systems, if you will, and depending on our sources of energy, how drained we get, it can be just tiring doing the simplest things in a relationship. And do not feel bad about feeling like you might be flaky, like you aren't good enough as a friend, you aren't, all those things that I've told myself so many times. It ultimately comes down to, one, it really doesn't matter how many relationships you have, as long as you are happy and content. And two, the friends that are worth having are going to understand how you function best and communicate best, and those are the people that will stick around. If it takes a lot of extra work, personally, I have found it's not ultimately worth it. In my experience, really could be very fine and content with just always doing my own thing. And whoever might be along for the ride, that's kind of up to them, but having that pressure of you need to be doing things with other people this often with this number of people, that just egged on more anxiety and more shame if I didn't meet those standards and expectations that oftentimes were a lot of pressures that I really pushed on myself. And I think that's really important when you're approaching any sort of relationship and friendship in your life and how you value that. Because I still really value relationships and those in my life, but I value those that are not tiring, that don't feel like extra work. So, if any of that feels like you connect with it, then cool. And in the case of a desire to like make friends, which is hard for any of us, especially as we get older and we're not surrounded by people, and is kind of up to us how we want to go about it. You know, that's really up for you to decide. I would say off the bat that you shouldn't fully discount the value of connections that you make online or in other kinds of ways that might not be face-to-face, because, you know, that might be easier for you in how you communicate and where you get your energy. And that just opens up a really wide world of possibilities. We have this amazing resource that, when used wisely and not used in excess, can really be beneficial and really fill that potential need that you have to feel connected and find other people that are neurodiverse, autistic, that might not otherwise cross your path physically. I would also say in general that online or in person, it's so much easier to relate with other neurodiverse people. That isn't to say that all neurotypical people are just full on difficult. I have several neurotypical people that are really awesome. But what makes them awesome is that they understand me, they understand that I'm going to think and do things differently, and they accept that. If there's a lot of like questioning and there's a lot of like need for extra translation or explanation, again, just feels like extra work, which up to you if that's worth it or not. And I would say otherwise that it's difficult to do right now in our unprecedented circumstances, but I would suggest to seek out things that you already enjoy, whether it's a special interest or a passion. Seek out opportunities for that, whether it's online or somewhere nearby. And if there are other people that are possibly doing a similar thing, then I think it's much easier to find something to connect on that isn't just like trying to manage the very painful act of small talk. Any way that you can kind of like alleviate that is, in my eyes, a huge win. So I gave a lot out there, but hopefully something in that kind of stream of consciousness helps you in, you know, seeing how friendship kind of fits into your life, to really think about and send some love to the people that may already be in your life, and to see if you have kind of that room that you might want someone else there as a friend. Because again, it's not a determining factor in who you are as a person. How, again, like who is in your life and how often you talk, all those kinds of things. A really good friend, someone that's really valuable to keep around, is someone that it doesn't matter if you haven't talked in a while, or you live far away, or whatever factors might be not in your favor. That won't matter, because you can just be with them. That's the goal. It's not always easy to find, but I really hope that the people in your life right now are just adding to who you are and not draining you, and are treating you well. That's what I want for all of you. And if you have any thoughts or advice on friendship as an autistic or neurodiverse person, please share that down below. We would all love to hear it. Thank you so much for being here today. I consider you all friends in some capacity. You hear me often enough. And I will see you all next time.